The employment situation for Chinese university students is severe. This year, the number of graduates reached a record high. However, Chinese small and medium-sized enterprises, which have been the main employers of Chinese university graduates, have suffered mass closures during the 3-year zero-tolerance campaign against the Communist Party, leading to an unprecedented employment pressure for Chinese university students this year. On May 11, Vice Premier of the State Council of the Communist Party of China, Ding Zhuosheng, stated during a telephone conference on employment and entrepreneurship for Chinese university graduates that they must promptly implement stable employment policies and accomplish this year's task of ensuring employment for university graduates. The Chinese Ministry of Education estimates that this year's Chinese university graduates will reach 11.58 million, an increase of 820,000 compared to 2022, setting a new historical high. Additionally, in the past 2 years, the number of Chinese overseas students returning to China for employment has been increasing. In 2021, the number exceeded 1 million, further intensifying the pressure on university graduates' employment this year. In April of this year, a leaked PowerPoint slide from an employment situation meeting at Shanghai Ocean University, a so-called double first-class university designated by the Communist Party of China, referring to universities and disciplines that are considered top-tier, revealed concerning statistics. As of April 11, the average employment rate for undergraduate students in Shanghai was only 24.1%, while for graduate students, it was 40.66%. Furthermore, the employment rate at Shanghai Ocean University was lower than the average for universities in Shanghai. With April marking the approaching graduation season for university students, these figures have sparked attention and concern. On May 16, the National Bureau of Statistics of the Communist Party of China released the economic data for April. Among the figures, the surveyed urban unemployment rate reached 5.2%, while the unemployment rate for youth aged 16 to 24 soared to 20.4%, surpassing the 20% mark and reaching the highest level since January 2018, as recorded on the official website. Considering the Communist Party's history of manipulating data, the actual unemployment situation may be even more severe. In April of this year, during a research conference on stable employment organized by the State Council of the Communist Party of China, it was stated that stabilizing employment requires expanding job opportunities, particularly by leveraging the employment absorption capacity of small and medium-sized enterprises. According to the 2022 Graduates Employment Quality Report published successively by various universities in China this year, private enterprises have emerged as the main force in employing Chinese university graduates. In many universities, private enterprises have absorbed a significantly higher number of graduates compared to state-owned enterprises, SOEs. The data indicates that for the 2022 undergraduate graduates of Shanghai Jiaotong University, nearly 46% entered private enterprises, while the absorption rate by state-owned enterprises was approximately 35%. As for the university's graduate students, 49% joined private enterprises, which is more than twice the proportion, 24%, entering state-owned enterprises. For the 2022 graduates of Beihang University, 35.8% of undergraduate students entered private enterprises, while 28.4% joined state-owned enterprises. Among the graduate students, 36.4% entered private enterprises, significantly surpassing the proportion, 22.5%, entering state-owned enterprises. At Northeastern University, the proportion of undergraduate students entering private enterprises in 2022 was 43.5%, while the proportion entering state-owned enterprises was 40.1%. At the University of International Business and Economics, the proportion of undergraduate students entering private enterprises was as high as 50%. At Northwest A&F University, the percentage of undergraduate students entering private enterprises reached 53%. And the proportion of master's graduates entering private enterprises was also high at 43.6%. Indeed, the situation for private enterprises, which have been the main employers of Chinese university graduates, is not optimistic this year. Despite the Communist Party's official promotion of China's economic recovery, the April report had to admit that Chinese small and medium-sized enterprises, many of which are private enterprises, are currently facing challenges such as insufficient market demand, tight cash flow, and pressures for transformation and upgrading. If these enterprises fail to regain vitality, not only will expanding employment become difficult, but even maintaining the existing level of employment will also face challenges. The recently arrived Chinese entrepreneur, Meng Jun, stated that, based on his knowledge, approximately half of the enterprises in the industrial park where his factory is located are either on the verge of closing down or unable to resume operations. Meng Jun further highlights the lack of orders as another challenge. After the Chinese New Year this year, many of his friends in the industrial park where his factory is located were inquiring about resuming operations. However, the feedback was that they had not resumed because there were no orders. Meng Jun also shared his challenging experience of operating a private enterprise in China during the 3 years of the pandemic. Due to the Communist Party's implementation of extreme lockdown and zero-COVID policies, Meng Jun's business with an annual revenue of 300 million yuan, approximately $43.47 million, completely collapsed. According to Meng Jun, his latex product export enterprise had its most prosperous years in 2017 and 2018 when there were more orders. However, in the 2 years following the outbreak of the pandemic in early 2020, his factory was repeatedly shut down. If a single positive case was found in the region, the entire area would be completely sealed off, and comprehensive nucleic acid testing would be conducted. By the end of 2021, Meng Jun felt that reopening his factory no longer made sense, so he decided to close down all his operations in Guangxi, Beijing, and Chongqing. Chinese problem expert and current affairs commentator Xi Shun stated that all three driving forces of the Chinese economy, exports, consumption, and investment, are facing issues, indicating that China's economy is currently in a very poor state.